Hey yo, this is your girl Melanin Audacity, and thank you for tuning in to the Master Elements podcast.
Smash the elements. 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 Smash the elements.
I ain't sleep on
accordingly as a group.
Yeah.
We've been on this minority.
I've been noticing it for a long time, and I'm also going to do a segment where, and I think I might push this to the forefront, and I'm going to need our community's help. We need to, and I want to try to say this properly. I don't want people to misconstrue. I need, as a Black American, my own identity. And what I mean by that is, I know the ADOS organization is out there. Shout out to that organization, ADOS101.com. I think, Sincere, you and I was telling you this before, and you was like, this sounds like the ADOS, because you put me on to the ADOS.
I don't talk with them about that.
Yeah, you said you apologize? Oh Lord, let me finish this and we gonna do this. So a Black American, which they've identified as the African descendants of slaves, meaning just that, right? I have been feeling that way for a long time, because everybody can't be Black, and that idiotic ideology that is racist to its core, that if you have a child with a Black person, you'll automatically make your child Black. It's impossible, and it's a racist idea. And I'm setting out to change that mindset in us, because I want to be known as a Black American. I need the Africans who came here and bought a ticket to be the African Americans. I never felt comfortable with being called African American. I don't know nothing about Africa. I don't do nothing African. I don't cook African. I don't use African spice. Like I don't have any African ties in me. So, and then the interracial people that have a Black parents, they can be Black interracial Americans, or they could come up with their own name. But for the Black American, I want to distinguish that we need our own identity, and because you pulling everybody as Black diminishes my position. It diminishes our identity in the world, because they call everybody Black, and that's not fair to us who are those descendants of slaves, where I don't have a choice. I can't say I'm from Barbados. I can't say that I'm from Africa or anything outside of being here in this for 14 generations. I'm a 14th generation Black American in America. And so Caribbeans can't claim that amount of time, because they haven't been here that long. They've been here longer than Africans, but I've been here longer than all of them. And then we all can't be African Americans. I need us to have our own identity as Black Americans. That's my thing. Then I respect, I'm not trying to separate us, because then the second part of it is unifying all of us so that we are able to get along and interact and intermingle. I don't want to be separate with regard to community, but I want to have my separate identity. Oh, Cynthia, oh yeah, no, she's the Black American. Or I could say Umfufu, the African American. Or I could say John Wyclef is a Caribbean American, right? But that doesn't mean we can't live in the same communities and things of that nature. So I don't want people to misconstrue that. But just like Hispanic is an overarching way to describe Hispanic people, Cubans, Puerto Ricans, DR, they have a plethora, like about 4 or 5 different sets, right?
Yeah.
And then we need an overarching descriptive that represents the Black American, the African American, the Caribbean American, and any Black interracial Americans, right? As an overarching thing. But it can't be Black and then I got my own lane and then everybody Black too. That diminishes my identity to me. And I don't like it. I never liked it. You ain't Black. If you mix with anything with Black, you ain't Black, sorry. And I have friends that I love dearly. I tell them that all the time. You gotta figure out what your name, how you want to be called, but you can't be Black and I'm Black. And your mama's white or your daddy's white or whoever, whichever parent, and both of mine are Black, then how you Black too? That don't even make sense.
So you saying Obama ain't Black?
No, I've been saying that for the longest. Okay. He's the first interracial president. We never had a Black American president.
No.
He's interracial. So and then it disrespects your other parent. To me, I don't even know why interracial people even go for that. I have a Black girlfriend who's married to a white man and her kids check white. You understand what I'm saying? Depends on who you are and what you are. Her kids check white. Their father's white and the mother's Black. But I thought the rule was if you have any Black, you Black.
It
depends on who you dealing with. See, don't play with me with that. That's what I'm saying. They don't want their kids to be classifying or identifying as Black because they know what comes with that.
They're gonna be Black when they get pulled over.
Hello. But the point is, we need our own identity, period. And I don't know what that overarching, like Hispanic got Hispanic, and then it breaks down. And white is the overarching, but Italians claim white, Portuguese, like a whole bunch of nationalities.
Okay, and that's the same thing with us. Let me jump in on this a little bit. That's the same thing with us. I think Black is the overarching, and over here in America anyway. You know what I'm saying? Black is the overarching identity. And those subgroups that you're describing, we already have all of those. But the problem is, like what you're saying, us Black Americans don't have that exclusive identity. But everybody else has their specific ethnic group that they, you know what I'm saying? Exactly. Whether they Trinidadian or Haitian, or whatever they may be.
They fall under
Nigerian. You know what I'm saying? They got their own communities. They got their own little, what culture that they got going on within America.
Yes.
Just like how you described with the Hispanics. You got the Dominicans, you got the Mexicans, you got the Puerto Ricans. You know what I'm saying? And they interact within their subgroups the same way. So like you said, we need to erect our own identity. You know what I'm saying? In order for us to make our political claims. You know what I'm saying? Because we have unique claims that other people can't claim to. At the end of the day, we are all one people. You know what I'm saying? We are all one race of people.
That's
you know what
right.
I mean?
That's right.
But we have different ethnic groups. We are our own ethnic group. We've been in this country hundreds of years. You know what I'm saying? We're not the same as we were before we landed on these shores. We have created our own culture. Our culture, which happens to be the dominant culture on the planet. You know what I'm saying? That everybody follows. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Foundation of Black Americans.
Shout out to the Black Americans.
Not sitting on nobody else. Shout out to all my Africans, shout out to all my Caribbeans and all that, my Black people all across the diaspora. But Black Americans, we hold a special spot out here. You know what I mean? We've been the face of Black people for a long time. You know what I mean? That's just the reality. But the part that you do lose me on, Sin, is the part about the biracial people now. The part that you lose me a little bit on that one because they're able to trace their lineage back to the plantation the same way you and I are, even if it's only on one side. You know what I'm saying? And during antebellum slavery, their ass would have been out picking cotton with the rest of us.
No. I'm just okay. So if their mother or father is ADOS, they're going to identify as Black interracial. They can't be in the Black American class under my regular. This is Trump list. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm including them. Like I said, they are included in our overarching. I have no idea what that.
But my question would be this. My question would be this about the interracial subgroup, so to speak. What would be the point of creating that subgroup? Like,
Because they have issue too with their identities not belonging to the blacks and not belonging to whatever other one. Because, you know, black mixed with everything nowadays.
Tragic
right?
mulatto.
Yes. So, and back in the day, they called them that, right? Mulatto and what was the other name when you was mixed with black and something? It was another name. But we'll go with mulatto. Mulatto is what they call them, right? And so I think that's derogatory. I'm assuming.
I mean, I think now they try to put that in a derogatory form.
Yeah. So they can be black, and when I say black interracial, they can be black and Chinese, black and whatever. Black.
That's kind of like what they have in South Africa. That's kind of like what they have in South Africa. Like, it's broken down in color categories. Like the darker people are the blacks, and the light skinned people are the colors, and then you got the
no, I'm not doing that. I don't want that. I don't want that, because even in Black Americans, we have a plethora of complexions, and so do Caribbeans, and so will there be with black interracial. So I'm not trying to play the color game. I'm just strictly from lineage and heritage. If you came, if you don't have, I'm not gonna say, because Caribbeans, I think maybe up to maybe 6 or 7 generations here, and then Africans are more like 5 or 6 because Caribbeans came first. You understand what I'm saying? So they have some generations.
Came here recently. Majority of them came here like
early 80s, but it's not, like I said, I'm on 14th generation. I'm the 14th generation starting from 1619. I'm the 14th generation, right? So they can't never claim that. They can't claim 14th generation in America. I do understand that, you know, they dropped some off. They got one big slave ship, and it was like Uber. The party Uber. They dropped some off in the Caribbean. They dropped some off in America. They dropped some off in South America, right? And then DR and all the other little Caribbean islands. I do understand that we all originated from there, but I'm talking about coming here for citizenship and having a generational ancestry and lineage here. That is fine. I have no problem with it. My problem is that the Black American identity is lost in the sauce.
But the biracial people can claim that too, though. The biracial people can claim that they've been on this land as long as us. You know, they got a white American parent and a Black American parent. They've been on the soil.
Right. And for them, my only concern is that they are identifying as interracial.
I think if you could trace one side of your family back to one of these plantations, you're eligible for reparations.
Yes, and this is not trying to prevent anyone from getting reparations. That's a whole nother.
But you can't get reparations. You can't get reparations if you're a first or second generation immigrant from some other country.
I understand that's how the reparations is going to work, but I'm talking about your point about whether or not the interracial relationship with a Black American can be traced back equally, because they can have 14 generations of whites or longer, right? They're still the product of an interracial union. And I'm just saying they need to have their own identity as well, which they want as well. Because again, they have issue with acceptance in one or the other. And it makes them feel identity-less. And I think I saw a special about that as well. And so I'm going to help them get that. You're going to be Black interracial, or if they want to be white interracial. I don't really care what that name is, because that's not my primary issue. I got to straighten out what's wrong with Black American issues. And then if I can sprinkle in some help to some other people, I will. But I'm not too concerned with what issues they may have. And they probably do have some that are similar or different to what we have. And I don't know. And if you have it and you watching this video and you want to share some of those issues, drop it in the comments. But I'm just saying. I
just think y'all some light-skinned Negroes. That's all.
But the complexion, we already know. First of all, we know how our complexions change because of the rapes of the masters and things of that nature. That's why we all have these differing complexions and body types and things of that.
Well, they got different complexions all throughout the continent too. So it's part of it, but at the same time, it's, you know, we the original man. We come in all flavors.
But a Pecan Rican. So Valerie, you being real quiet. We just jump in around here.
I'm listening. I'm taking it all in.
But what do you think about?
I actually just really feel like crying. That's really how I'm feeling right now. I'm hearing a whole lot of man. This is pretty deep, and yeah, I'm just taking it all in. It's a lot, and it's so sad that in 2020 that you know, I'm feeling this way. It's yeah.
It's a lot. It is a lot. What about you, RP? What you think about my proposal for? You know what? I'm gonna email Biden and tell him. I'm gonna email. Let me see if they got contact us on here.
Yo, I think it's dope. You know, I feel as though, you know, they talk when they were touching on the whole reparations thing. You know, they were like, well, we don't know who we would send it to or who we would cut checks to. I'm like, yo, it's simple. It's simple.
Ain't that hard. Ain't that hard to figure out.
Ain't that hard to figure that out.
Yeah.
And they do have those records. They do have them.
They do
through the social security situation. Once they started issuing the social security cards, they know.
They know.
Yeah, it ain't hard to trace your lineage back. You know.
No, it's not.
5 generations.
Well, all right. Well, you have any more? I have one I want to talk about, but I knew you had a few more. Which you got something else?
A quick one is the Ben & Jerry's thing. Did y'all see the new Ben & Jerry's campaign? Black Lives Matter Ben & Jerry's campaign?
Mm-hmm. Ben & Jerry, the ice cream people?
Yeah.
Wait, what about it?
So I seen it on Twitter the other day. I seen that they tweeted, I think they tweeted dismantle white supremacy. It was like a meme that said dismantle white supremacy.
Yeah, they with it. They with the smoke.
Hold on. I retweeted that. You know what I'm saying? And I was giving them their props. I retweeted it and I was like, yo, anybody else in the mood for ice cream? Because I'm like, okay, Ben & Jerry's, they out here talking about dismantle white supremacy. I'm with that. And so a couple days later, I see the new ice cream thing that they put out. On the front of it, it's a black dude. It's a black dude with a purple wig and earrings and everything. Like a black trans dude is on the ice cream thing. And this is what they put. And it says resist. It says resist. You know, like I said, it's capturing the momentum of the energy that we putting out there because of our suffering, and they translating it over to some LGBT trans stuff, man. They doing the same thing.
I saw a snippet that they have for a long time allegedly been in support of our mission and things. I didn't know that about them.
They're long-time activists.
Yeah. I didn't know they already came out with a new ice cream. First of all, what flavor is it? Chocolate?
Yeah, you know what?
I'm gonna look it up. Val, have you heard anything about the new Ben & Jerry's ice cream?
No, that's what I was just saying. Ben & Jerry, the ice cream people, when he started mentioning it, no, I haven't seen or heard nothing about it. Nothing.
Yeah, but it seems like
you sure this is not a girl? I see the picture. Corporate activism gets its day. Ben & Jerry's has been at it for decades, is the headline. And I'm pulling it up so I can see. Oh, Lord, it's called Pecan Resist.
Resist.
Butter Pecan Ricans.
Resist. I wish we could show a picture. You know, we're not that sophisticated yet, but I wish we could put the picture on the screen and show.
Let me see. Because I got the new account. Let me see.
Yeah, you should be able to share your screen.
Yeah, I can share my screen.
Oh my God.
No, let me go back out because we don't need to see the article. We just want to see the actual ice cream thing, right? I'm trying to pull up Ben and it costs $4 for a pint.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
I like Ben and Jerry's ice cream, by the way, man. You know, they make some good ice cream.
I've never had it, honestly. And there's one down the street from my job. And yeah, I never really had the desire. Maybe because it's not right in my path is why I've not patronized the place. I've been hearing a lot about it.
Okay, there you go.
Okay. Yeah, I see it. Yeah.
So Sincere, you said that's a trans?
Oh.
That's a
Oh.
Am I tripping? Am I tripping?
Mad eyebrows? Like which is it that what makes you think trainee? Sincere?
This is abstract art.
Okay. So
I think they're just speaking people in general, because there's a light skin, there's a dark skin, and there's a high yellow. So I think that means unity. All people is what. I don't think that has anything really primarily to do with just African American or black people or brown people. That's people, period.
okay.
And I guess they're trying to do like a unity kind of thing, I guess.
Right.
Okay. It looks like a trans dude to me on there. And can you pull up an article, Sin?
About this or something else?
About the Ben and Jerry's thing. Can you pull up an article and see what they're saying about the campaign?
Hang on a second.
Resist. Oh man.
What happened? I'm trying to go back. I don't know if me sharing.
Again, this ain't, you know, I ain't got nothing against nobody's lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to see, you know, what the pivot is all about. You know, if we're talking about a black issue, let's keep it on the black issues.
Right.
My bad.
Resist.
Well, this is the story. This one, the corporate activist one.
Click on that one. Yeah, click that one. Click that one.
Yeah, that's from the Wall Street Journal.
Are they brothers? Are they two little chichi boys or are they brothers?
I don't know.
I don't know.
They was kind of very close in that little picture just prior to you pulling this ad up.
You have to subscribe to the Wall Street Journal to read.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. I hate those.
Yeah.
I hate those. But anyway, you know, the viewers could go check it out for themselves and see what they're talking about.
Well, I can click.
Look how they standing there together.
What's this one right here?
Yeah, look how they standing there together.
Click on that. Click on that. Ben and Jerry.
How Ben and Jerry's statement on dismantling white supremacy fits in with the founder's history of activism.
Okay.
And I find, you know, that white people who do support us typically are LGBT, and maybe that feeds into what you've been saying, Cynthia, about the bait switch situation with starting off with black issues and then turning into LGBT.
Yeah, they'll get more support than we do as just black people.
That's the same thing that the feminists used to do, you know, back in the days. You know, like that Sally Struthers hustle. You know, you go out to Africa and take pictures with the little poor children and send me some money. Send me some money because these children are over here starving, and then the money don't never get funneled down to the children. You know what I'm saying? Is this the Yeah.
We must dismantle white supremacy. Okay.
I don't know how they plan on doing that. That's just a lot of talk. I mean, really, how do they plan to do that? They plan on wiping them all out, because really that's about the only way it's gonna happen. You got this generation, you got the last generation, the generation before that, the generation before that, the generation before that. I mean, you gotta kill them. That's the only way that they're gonna dismantle it. Because to talk about it, it's not gonna do nothing. I mean, that's just real talk. That's just,
she said, you gotta kill him. You gotta kill him.
that's the only way.
But they trying to sell
for Valerie. Yes.
Valerie, but they're trying to do it through ice cream.
It's Valerie.
Oh, well, that would be good, but then they have to make us aware to not to eat the ice cream. Eat ice cream, then. If that's
I'm lactose intolerant, so they gotta worry about me. Oh, that's funny. Anything in particular you wanted to know about this article, Sincere, or Ron or Valerie?
How they
I was just looking at the way they were standing together, if they was together or if they was homies or brothers. I
just seen something about same-sex marriage.
Yep, right here it says other socially conscious Ben and Jerry's flavors include Save Our Swirls.
The swirl. Okay, the swirl.
Aimed at bringing attention to climate change, and I Doe, renamed in celebration of the legalization of same-sex marriage.
Yeah, so they must be rude. They must be fruit. Yeah, they together. I never even thought about it until I saw them standing together in that picture. I never even thought about it.
Yeah, both 69 years old. Okay.
They're not brothers, right? They're not cousins.
No.
Wow. Okay,
I'll give you another example. Out there in California, the other day, the mayor was talking about putting together a $200 billion package for basically people of color. You know what I mean? It's supposed to be in response to what's happening to black people, but you're gonna create a resource.
What kind of package together? You talking about money?
Yeah, you're talking about money. $200 billion package that's supposed to go to fight. You know what we're thinking to fight for against is white supremacy and fight for black empowerment, against white supremacy and for black empowerment. But he's talking about giving money to people of color and LGBT and all that other stuff too. And that's what I mean by the bait and switch.
Yo, son, let me ask you a question. Did you see Michael Jordan supposedly gave $100 million for us?
I heard, but before we get into that, we have time. But look, I just found, if you look at the screen, someone asked if Ben and Jerry are a couple, and they said they are not gay or a couple.
Okay.
So
okay.
Maybe they just, that was at a party and they was a little twisted. Maybe that picture was taken, So I'm gonna bring us all back and stop sharing. That was fun to do. So this is our new
new feature, right?
Yeah, new feature for us. We finally, got the paid account. So
smash the elements. Smash the elements.